There's a lot of talks about marathon game visuals, and I read lots of information about it and I want to share it in this video. Marathon is a PvPvE extract and shooter game developed by Bungie. And I think one thing that captivated many players, including myself, is the unique visuals of the game as presented in the first trailer. And I remember even so many people reacting to the look of the game. So basically the initial unveiling of Marathon generated considerable interest. And I think partially due to the announced art style described by the developer as graphic realism. An article from Kotaku lauded the initial trailer for its striking vibrancy and bold color choices, which is kind of a departure from the often muted and realistic palettes that you find in many other modern shooters. Now, the initial impression established an expectation for a visually distinctive game, and furthermore, the developers explicitly cited the range of influencers on the game's aesthetic, including Mirror's Edge, Ghost in the Shell, Aeon Flux, and various aspects of product and apparel design. Now, these comparisons are significant as they provide a framework for understanding the intended visual direction, suggesting a fusion of sleek, futuristic, and highly stylized elements. The emphasis on graphic realism coupled with these diverse inspirations cultivated a specific set of expectations within the gaming community concerning the game's visual fidelity and overall artistic direction. However, I think things change, and for me as well, following the release of the gameplay overview trailers and other footage from the alpha gameplay, a shift in public perception became more evident. While the initial reveal gathered lots of praise, the in-game visuals sparkled a range of reactions, often contrasting with the earlier enthusiasm. And I also found the same. Something was different, looked different compared to what I actually remember seeing in the initial trailer. And I thought maybe just me, maybe I forgot how it looked like, but going into Reddit threads, such as those in the Marathon and game subreddits, revealed that many users felt that the in-game graphics appeared cartoony or plasticky and lacking the visual fidelity promised by the announced trailer. Now, this feedback is noteworthy as it suggests potential disconnect between the game's marketing and the actual player experience. Now, specific user comments in the Marathon subreddit describe the visual as very plasticky, with comparison being drawn to the Fortnite effect or even a sci-fi themed Roblox game. So the term cartoony in such discussion often carries a negative connotation, implying a simplification or basically simplification of the aesthetics that might fall short of the anticipated level of detail and realism that people expected from the initial trailer, leading to disappointment among those who watched the following marketing material. Other people mentioned, and I can now even relate to that while seeing again the footage again, that some people pointed out the flat shading, which resulted in a perceived lack of depth and surface detail. Some suggested that the implementation of radiosity, a rendering technique basically that simulates how light bounces off surfaces, would significantly enhance the visual appeal. They reference something like things like Mirror Edge as a positive example how effective lighting can complement the stylized color palette. Now, additionally, concerns were also raised about the color application, with some commenters feeling that the color choices seem random or inverted, drawing attention to less important elements within the environment. Now, the perception of flat lighting can basically detract from the overall visual experience, eventually making the game world feel less immersive and lacking in atmosphere. Now, notably, a comment on Reddit thread mentioned the actual lighting was only recently added to the alpha build, indicating that this aspect of the visuals might still be under development and subject to change, which of course can be, still the game hasn't been released yet as of the time making this video. Now, for me, when I watched it, it just looked too noisy, and it was hard for me to actually focus on main things on the action, on the character, because everything just felt like all melded together. So it was a bit confusing for me, I have to admit. I think some also really wanted that, see more intricate details when it comes to materials such as metal and plastic surfaces that this seems to come through well. Also, some people express their concern about the lack of environmental wear, tear, the absence of dirt, dust, scratches, and this stuff. Now I have to tell you the reason I actually this game caught my attention. First, the visuals that I first saw the trailer, the initial trailer, and because it's Bungie and Bungie made Destiny. I'm talking about Destiny Vanilla, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And the things I remember the most is the gunplay. The gunplay felt amazing in Destiny Vanilla. I played Destiny 2 as well, but I dropped it relatively short after. But one thing I know for sure, when it comes to gunplay, I know that Bungie can deliver. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that really Bungie wanted to create something that captivates players, that look and feel different than other extracting shooters or other shooters out there. And whether you love or don't love what they actually came up with, you can't deny that it looks different, it looks unique. Now, maybe another aspect was related to give the game really great performance, so more players can actually play it. Because you can see there's some low poly visuals here and there, and maybe they can even enhance the lighting and other type of things, and maybe add some ray tracing and stuff, that it won't be that demanding, because again it will be kind of low poly 3D models rather than something with more complex design. And I personally don't know really how to describe things regarding the color palette, although I read that people had mixed reactions. Some described it as gray, some described it as the vibrancy oversaturated, lots of colors. This suggests that the current color implementation may not be universally effective in serving the gameplay or the intended aesthetic. Some even compare it to Concord. Well, I think from now on, Concord is just everywhere. When there's something that people don't like, Concord is mentioned. But yeah, maybe because it's Sony, so no. But anyway, I just ignore these comments. But again, I do think that considering this is a game that they intend to support for a long time and they want as many players playing it, I think it just indicates that there was a possible trade-off here where visual fidelity might be kind of sacrificed to ensure basically smoother gameplay on the less powerful hardware. So this is a possibility. So yeah, so it just seems like it to me that basically the developer seems like it, yeah, that they pivoted from the high fidelity realism to a more stylized approach, which might be due to optimization. But I have no doubt in my mind that the main reason for that was try to aim for a fresh and unique visual identity, which I think they did, no doubt about it. There's a big talk about the design, and it definitely looks different and unique compared to many other shooters that I played before. So my take, again, personal opinion, I think it was a bit too noisy for me, and again, things might change, again, optimize further before the game is released, but I really like the art direction of the game. And yeah, I did notice, of course, a difference. The game looked flatter compared to the previous trailer that we've seen, but not something that really put me off, I have to tell you. But at the end of the day, for me, the thing that will be the most important thing is excellent gunplay experience, which I trust Bungie to deliver. I mean, in Destiny, it was just top gaming experience for me when it comes to gunplay, so I have no doubt that they will deliver here in this game as well and make a great extracting shooters. I mean, I played several of them, not everyone actually convinced me to stay and continue playing. Hopefully this one will. Yeah, so what are your thoughts about the visuals of the game? I want to hear your thoughts. Definitely it's going to be mixed opinion about that. Some probably people will love it, some people hate it, and there's going to be always those in between. But there's no doubt that it looks different, and whether it will eventually lead to a better gameplay experience at the end of the day, we need to wait and see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to play this game. Your thoughts in the comment section.